Hello, and welcome to The Legend of Zelda, the Ocarina of Time. So this is a game that was released in 1998, and it is so much fun to play. It is a game that I adore from my childhood, and I've played it a lot. At least once a year since its release, some years 3, 4, 5 times. I'm quite acclimated to the game, and I'm hoping that throughout the playthrough I can show either returning players or new players certain little tips and tricks throughout the game that I've found as I've gone. This playthrough is intended to be more of a follow along playthrough, so there aren't going to be very many cuts, and I'm hoping that'll help other players not have to, skip back if they're trying to play along or anything. If I do have to cut anything out, I'll keep it as short, sweet, and I'll let you know how many times I had to try something in order to complete it. But I'm gonna move along because that's cutscene will go immediately to a cutscene late game, and I don't want to spoil too much. I'll try not to spoil things as I go, and keep the explanations relevant to where I'm at the game. And if there's a backtrack for something later on, then I'll point that out. So, as you can see, I've already got a file set up, ready to go. It is named Link. Very basic, very just get into it. In the vast deep forest of Hyrule, long have I served as the guardian spirit. I am known as the Deku Tree. The children of the forest, the Kokiri, live here with me. Each Kokiri has his or her own guardian fairy. However, there is one boy who does not have a fairy. Navi, Navi, where art thou? Come hither. O Navi, the fairy, listen to my words, the words of the Deku Tree. Dost thou sense it, the climate of evil descending upon this realm? Malevolent forces even now are mustering to attack our land of Hyrule. For so long the Kokiri Forest, the source of life, has stood as a barrier deterring outsiders and maintaining the order of the world. But before this tremendous evil power, even my power is as nothing. It seems the time has come for the boy without a fairy to begin his journey. The youth whose destiny it is to lead Hyrule to the path of justice and truth. Navi, go now. Find our young friend and guide him to me. I do not have much time left. Fly, Navi, fly. The fate of the forest, nay, the world, depends upon thee. So yeah, as we go along, I will talk along with the text, but I'm not really a voice actor at all, so I may try a character for one of the characters, but most of them are just going to be I'm reading out the text. So I'm hoping that doesn't pull from the story too much, but we'll see as we go. Has the fairy had a sip or two? A little lost in the sauce? Hello, Link. Wake up! The great Deku Tree wants to talk to you. Link, get up! Hey, come on! Can Hyrule's destiny really depend on such a lazy boy? I mean, he was just having a nightmare, like, he's not gonna be well rested, so give the guy a break. You finally woke up. I'm Navi the Fairy. The Great Deku Tree asked me to be your partner from now on. Nice to meet you. The Great Deku Tree has summoned you, so let's get going, right now. So yeah, like, with Navi, I'm likely to have, like, a slightly higher inflection, but we'll see. Again, not a voice actor. Yahoo! Hi, Link! Well, I mean, that's a warm welcome. Someone's already excited to see us. Let's go see what this is all about. Wow, a fairy! Finally, a fairy came to you, Link. Wow, that's great news. I'm so happy for you. Now you're a true Kokiri, Link. Is that right? The Great Deku Tree has summoned you. It's quite an honor to talk to the Great Deku Tree. I'll wait for you here. Get going. Go see the Great Deku Tree. So yeah, that's going to be our first objective. I am, however, going to cut out wandering over there. There are certain little ways that the game will try to push you in the direction you're intended to go, give you little tips and tricks and things like that. I'm going to go past them just for the sake of keeping the storyline moving along and not retreading and backtracking. So the first thing that we want to do is search all of these bushes, which I think I just searched that one. And we're going to be collecting rupees because I do need 80 of them. So rupees, if you're not familiar, are just the currency of the game. And when you do this, the intention behind it is for you to explore the town at large. Come on. There we go. And, you know, just like the internet trope and all that, Link is really good at breaking pots to get things. Oh, I left one behind. Oh, darn. Now, as we explore the town, find out all the little spots where we can get them, there will be characters that if you talk to them, they will explain little certain things that you may not previously be aware of. So you can talk to all these characters. I generally don't talk to characters unless it's required at this point. But I promise for most of them, you're not really missing a whole lot. There are a couple exceptions to that for characters that I'll make sure I've talked to, but... So we're already at 19 rupees, so that's kind of nice. And every time that you leave an area, the rupees in bushes and certain ways of getting rupees will replenish every time, so that can kind of help speed up this process. So, we're going to go over this way, and we're going to enter into here. The hole of Z. Go through this small hole. Stand in front of the hole and push the control stick towards it. When the action icon shows enter, press A to crawl into the hole. Pay attention to what the action icon says. So yeah, there's lots of little tutorial stuff. Zelda games are generally pretty accessible to make sure that you do understand what you're doing. Or you can just run through blindly like I do and just figure it out. So what does Navi want? The Great Deku Tree has summoned you. Please come with me. So yes, we understand that. We will get to that part. So Navi is quite entertaining. For those who don't know, Navi is short for navigator. So her whole job is to navigate you throughout the game. So that's why she can be irritating and always pointing you in a certain direction. But, so we got the Kokiri sword. The basic explanation is, you go to the equipment subscreen in the pause menu, which we'll go to, and you equip it with A, just like this. And while we're here, I might as well give a quick short explanation. So you have 4 screens in this game. You've got your equipment subscreen, which is your basic items like your swords, shields, things like that. This is your select item subscreen, so as we collect tools and other weapons and stuff, this is where they'll get displayed. You have a map that will have a box around the next general location you want to be in, a flashing icon for the location you're in, and as we go, this will fill in, and I will show another feature of the map once it becomes relevant. Then you have your quest status subscreen for certain important items, little music notes that'll point out, and other spots, and a heart container section that as you collect heart pieces, it'll show you how many you're at until you've powered up another heart. Again, something we'll get into shortly. And yeah. So, now we have a sword, we can cut grass and cut signs and other fun things. So, always a useful tool in an RPG. And no additional rupees from the grass. We'll crawl back out and continue on with our rupee collecting. So the nice thing is, even though I have to collect 80 rupees, as you can see, with just very basic gameplay so far, I have collected almost half of what I need. So it's not like rupees are that hard to obtain by any stretch of the imagination. And as we're exploring, there's actually another house you can go into to collect a few more rupees. And I actually picked the right one. I wasn't 100% sure which house it was going to be. But if you pick these 2 chests, you'll get 6 more rupees. We're now over halfway. So without doing any terrible grinding, the original 40 that you actually need, we've already found. And we'll go like this. So, we have a character here that's going to tell me to press Z and press A to speak. And she's just going to say, this is how we use a fairy. And that she's excited that we have a fairy now, and I guess we've been pretty infamous for not having one. Now this is the shop. I'm going to make a shortcut between collecting the rest of the roughly 35 rupees that I need to collect, and then we'll come back and continue on. So I'll see you guys in a little bit. Okay, so now we are back, and I cut here because I have 75 of the 80, and I just want to show off that if you go in the back corner there, there's another 5 rupees hidden back there. So the first 40 rupees we want to spend are on this Deku Shield, which is the required item that we'll need in order to get access to the Great Deku Tree. So it's very, very basic combat that has a few little tricks in it that I will show off and kind of point out. But your basics are press B to slash your sword, Z and A to jump attack, hold your right bumper to use your shield, and if you hit Z and R, you can walk and strafe while holding your shield up. So when you're locked on to an enemy, you'll circle around that enemy. You won't just go directly side to side, so that's kind of what makes Z targeting so useful and valuable. Now, before we continue on our adventure there, I want to go purchase our first upgrade. So that's where the need for the other 40 rupees comes from. You don't have to get this. It's just like any upgrade. It is useful to have, but it's not like it's not like you're gonna lose the game or not be able to, I guess not lose, but not be able to continue without it. So this guy will shoot what looks like a Deku nut at you. You go talk to him. But to make your quest easier, I can enable you to pick up more Deku sticks, but it'll cost you 40 rupees. Yes, this is very useful. So normally you'd just be able to pick up 10 if you just went and bought one or picked one up from an enemy. But right out of the gate, we're able to use 20, so that's always helpful. The Deku sticks have an unusual property that they are, when you pull one out, you hold it with both of your hands, so you don't have use of your shield. Now, the reason that that's important is because it counts as a two-handed sword when you deal damage. Now, if you hit something with it, obviously you will break it, but it will do much more damage than your actual sword will do, so there are certain points when it's valuable to use them, and I will very obviously do that, so... Now that we've collected what we can, we're going to continue on and actually go towards our objective. And to get to the Great Deku Tree, you look down on the map in the bottom right corner, a little tunnel with what appears to be the overhead of a tree, so we're going to head this way. If you want to see the Great Deku Tree, you should at least equip a sword and a shield. So this was just the explanation I cut out earlier, rather than wandering over. So I do have the sword and the shield. This is Mido. He does not like us. I'm not entirely sure why. A wimp is a wimp. I, the great Mido, will never accept you as one of us. I've never really dug in recent memory to find out why he just really does not like us. I'm sure there's an explanation. And if I saw it as a kid, there's no way I'm going to remember it now. So... we're going to continue on, and we have arrived at the Great Deku Tree. Oh, Navi, thou hast returned. Link, welcome. Listen carefully to what I, the Great Deku Tree, am about to tell thee. Thy slumber these past moons must have been restless and full of nightmares, as the servants of evil gain strength while a vile climate pervades the land and causes nightmares to those sensitive to it. Verily, thou hast felt it. Link, the time has come to test thy courage. I have been cursed. I need you to break the curse with your wisdom and courage. Dost thou have courage enough to undertake this task? Yeah, I guess we do. Then enter, brave Link, and thou too, Navi. Navi the fairy, thou must aid Link. And Link, when Navi speaks, use the C up to listen well to her words of wisdom. So, yeah, that's just your explanation. We've obviously already figured that out. So, now that we didn't actually have the choice to say no to test our courage, we're going to go and take on this courageous task. It's like most video games, you can say yes or no, but you're basically getting voluntold. Otherwise, you're playing about $2 worth of the game and saying, no, I'm not doing it, and you're not playing. So I'm going to cut here, and when we come back, we will take on the Great Deku Tree. So thank you for coming and checking out the video, and we'll catch you on the next one.